corporal punishment to be eliminated from the local juvenile justice system. An unknown gunman shoots up a city house. And in sports, new kings are crowned in primary school road tennis.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. This is the CBC Evening News. The Caribbean is open to business. That was Prime Minister Frendel Stuart's clear message today in Malta as he addressed a Commonwealth Business Forum which focused on investment in the Caribbean. He was joined by the Prime Ministers of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, and Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley. Mr. Stuart told his audience that CARICOM states offered a wide array of investment opportunities and listed some of them as construction, manufacturing and oil and gas. He pointed out that the traditional sectors, including tourism and related activities, agriculture, fishing and marine products and services, including the entertainment industry. Mr. Stuart says the growth potential for these sectors, though somewhat diminished in accord with their current life cycle, can be resuscitated through innovation and product diversification. He noted that CARICOM states had agreed targets for the introduction of renewable energy sources, explaining that they had committed to 20%, 28% and 47% by the years 2017, 2022 and 2027 respectively. Barbados is moving towards elimination of corporal punishment in the juvenile justice system. This disclosure from Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite during the opening of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit's Children's Rally at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. Mr. Brathwaite says Barbados has signed on to the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, which speaks to the elimination of corporal punishment on children. And according to him, the island has to decide whether or not to adhere to the agreement.
I can tell you that in our new juvenile justice bill, that corporal punishment will be removed from any juveniles, and juveniles there mean any person under 18 years of age who comes into contact with the criminal justice system. So I can guarantee you that. I am persuaded if I am not prepared to flog my own children, I don't see how I can be prepared to flog somebody else's children and be part of a regime that allows it.
The fight against gender-based violence starts in the home. That was the message from Social Care Minister Steve Blackett at the Bureau of Gender Affairs' launch of 16 Days of Activism campaign.
The message I want to bring home is this: a safe space in our communities, a safe space in our educational institutions, and a safe space in our societies will come when we have created a safe space in our homes and among our families, regardless of their formation.
The minister adds that government is updating the relevant laws to help address the situation.
Violence Protection Orders Act 1992-94, and they will shortly be introduced into Parliament to ensure that it conforms to internal best practices, reflect gender neutrality, respects human rights, and is non-discriminatory and victim-centered, among other things.
As Barbados nears its 49th anniversary of independence, Acting Prime Minister Richard Seeley is urging individuals to reflect on what it means to be Barbadian and value the high quality of life provided. Mr. Seeley was speaking during the annual independence flag-raising ceremony at the George Lamming School.
It also is important that we recognize that we have a responsibility to ensure that if we are to continue to enjoy all that we do in Barbados, that we have to be prepared to protect it. And so, as important an occasion as it is to salute what has happened in the past, it's also a good time for us to reflect on the importance of the work that we have to do going forward in the future.
A city family was awakened from sleep early this morning by the sounds of gunshots as an unknown assailant fired on the house. No one was injured during the incident, which police say occurred about 4. Contents of the home and the outside of the building bore the marks of the attack. The Lightfoot Lane home is occupied by a couple and their 2 children. Jamaican who attempted to smuggle drugs into the island has been remanded to prison. Albenda Dwyer, 22 years, arrived in Barbados 2 days ago. On her entry, she was referred to customs. A search of her luggage was conducted and 1 pound of cannabis discovered in a false compartment of her suitcase. The young woman appeared in the District F court to answer the charges of possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply, trafficking and importation. She pleaded not guilty and was remanded until December 17th. Finance Minister Chris Sinclair says he doesn't have any objection to Christchurch West MP Dr. Maria Agard joining the Democratic Labour Party. Dr. Agard was expelled from the opposition BLP over the weekend. Mr. Sinclair says the doors of mass-based parties are open to all, adding that if Dr. Agard chooses to go that way, she won't be the first to do so. He made the comments to reporters on the sidelines of the St. Michael Battle of the West Independence Quiz at the St. Leonard's Boys' School.
Mass-based parties are just that. They're mass-based parties. They're open to anybody to join and anybody to leave. The door is always open for those who want to come in and those who want to go out. We operate a big tent policy in political mass-based parties. So I don't know, I wouldn't presume to advise anybody to join any political party that they don't want to join or that they don't feel comfortable in, but if they do and they could live with the philosophical principles of the party and what the party stands for and has stood for, then, you know, it is, that's open. The councils of the party would make a determination as to who they prefer to accept as members.
And Westbury Primary has emerged as the winner of that St. Michael's Battle of the West Independence Quiz Finals. Westbury Primary secured 177 points to cop the first prize, a tour on board Island Safari, a catamaran cruise, a trophy and a check of $1,500, which was presented by MP for the area Finance Minister Chris Sinclair. Second place with 175 points went to Deacon's Primary, which was presented with a check for $1,000 and a trophy by MP James Paul. Third place of $500 and a trophy went to Eagle Hall Primary, while fourth place went to the Rock Christian School. Mr. Sinclair says the competition has helped to sharpen the students' skills, broaden their knowledge and deepen their understanding of Barbados.
I'm very happy with where it has gone, and I believe it can get even bigger. And indeed, my thoughts are, and those of my colleagues and staff, that since next year is our 50th anniversary of independence, we have to have a special competition that is even going to be bigger and better than this one going forward. A special independence, 50th anniversary independence competition.
Well, yet another Barbadian has reached the golden landmark of 100 years old. The latest to accomplish that feat is Rubina Clark of Streets Road, Clapham, St. Michael. And yesterday, the mother of 1 daughter and several grandchildren was the toast of the town as family and friends lauded her achievement. Ms. Clark thanked God for allowing her to achieve the milestone, noting that she's had a good life. She said she loved to eat, but was a very strict person.
I have faith in God. If I didn't have faith in God, I could not get here. So I give God the praise and the thanks for what He has done for me. I work at Mrs. Blaze in Hastings. I live there and I went down to school working. I worked there for 11 years. Then when I finished here, I come home, I retired, I came home and I was doing baking. And this deadline, I went to England with my children and came back home and didn't do anything much. But I worked hard, very hard.